or he's going to be calling me in a minute. Good evening, everybody. It is 6:36 p.m. and this is the meeting of the Norwalk Fair Rent Commission for the December 10th, 2025. Have a hearing this week. The hearing has been, hopefully you guys can hear me. It says my internet connection is unstable. The
I can
hearing
hear
has
you.
been, okay, good. The hearing's been postponed until January, so I appreciate your flexibility in joining the for a regular meeting instead. I am going to quickly do roll call. Um, we have with us Vice Chair Fran Collier Clemens. We have
Here.
Commissioner Linus Constant, Commissioner Hanson Guest, and Commissioner Tatiana Santiago. And we have Carlos Duque, our Fair Rent Coordinator, and Russell Liskov, our attorney. Um, and with that, I will share the agenda, he said, but he didn't have it open. And we will look at the minutes of last week's meeting. All right. Should be joining your screen momentarily. Last month's meeting, I should say. So, any comments or changes on page one?
Says regular meeting October 8th. Oh yeah, that was October 8th. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what we accepted. Anything on page two? Anything on page three? I believe that on page, in case 1869-25, it's Live Oak Road, not Live Oak Grove.
And Commissioner Peter Holliday just joined.
Hi, Peter.
Commissioner Halliday joining the meeting.
Good evening, Peter. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay.
Um, Carlos, I'm right in that, right? It's Live Oak Road, not Live Oak Grove.
Correct.
Okay. Uh, any changes on page? I don't remember what page we're on, 6. Guest should be capitalized. And Fran Collier Clemens should be spelled out, not just Miss Fran.
There's only one Miss Fran.
I mean, well, and then down here it's Miss Fran and Miss
Praise the
Sissy. So,
Lord.
so I feel like this was transcribed but not reviewed. Um, so let's change both of them to Johnny May Weldon and Frank Collier Clemens or Miss Collier Clemens, Vice Chair Collier Clemens. Any other changes? Okay.
Pretty good.
All right. then I'll take a motion.
I motion to accept the minutes from last month's meeting.
Second.
All right, motion from Lenise Constant, second from Peter Halliday. Any opposed? I'm sorry, all in favor. Let's start with that.
Aye.
No.
Commissioner Guest, I don't think I got yours. I see your hand. Yes, that's an aye. Fran, did I get yours?
Oh, no, I'm abstaining.
Oh, you're going to abstain. Okay. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
One abstain. All right. Thank you. And we will go on to the next agenda item, which I believe is public participation. Are there any members of the public who are here today who wish to participate? Going once. Going twice. All right.
So,
We will go on to the chair's report. I hope all of you saw the recent legislation that Governor Lamont signed related to affordable housing in Connecticut. I wanted to particularly draw your attention to one of the clauses in this. Obviously, we're all focused on affordable housing at the Fair Rent Commission, and one of the clauses or sections in the legislation includes additional legislation requiring fair rent commissions and municipalities of a certain size, but also gives the option for there to be regional fair rent commissions if that is deemed to be more appropriate. I just thought that was interesting given kind of the emphasis that they're placing on affordable housing, that the Fair Rent Commission concept is such a key component of that, and I wanted to draw it all to your attention. There are a couple of other interesting items there as well. Some of you who are longtime commissioners may remember that several years ago we had a landlord that consistently came on the docket because they were using a computer-based system for determining what the new rent should be. I think it would be fair to say they were using an algorithm, and the legislation explicitly now prohibits the use of an algorithm for determining rents in certain units under certain circumstances. So that's another item I think as things come before, as cases come, as people bring cases to us, probably something, Carlos, for you to pay attention to and watch out for. I know you're already aware of it. You already have told me you're aware of it, but is something that I think we just want to be aware of. Like that's not going to be permitted anymore, and is something that we should be on the lookout for. So that's my report for this week. And then I also know we're in the midst of a pretty cold season as usual, and so we want to be. This typically is a time where we have to be focused on the health and safety of tenants, and I'm sure that there are going to be a number of complaints that come before us regarding heat and hot water heaters and things of that nature, and electricity, making sure that if we do hear any of those complaints that we're either bringing it to the health department or the appropriate authorities to make sure that those get resolved quickly, because I think it's important, even if there's a rental dispute, that the tenants have the appropriate safety in their residences. So with that, I will turn it over to Carlos for the coordinator's report.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to piggyback a little on what John mentioned with regards to the updated housing bill that was recently passed. The Fair Rent Commissions, yes, it required a few years ago for municipalities, cities, towns greater than 25,000 residents to create Fair Rent Commissions. Now this one, it incorporates towns, cities of 15,000 or more residents to create Fair Rent Commissions. It is interesting because we have municipalities close to Norwalk, such as Wilton, Easton, New Canaan, and I'm wondering how the Regional Fair Rent Commission would work. Would they reach out to us, or it would be brought up to the state level? I'm not sure. It's interesting. So I'm waiting to see if I hear something along those lines. I do get calls from those municipalities asking, hey, is this, what does the Connecticut law say about rent increase? What does the Connecticut law says about my landlord entering? I answer a lot of those questions, but they don't have someone for them to go to. Additionally, the algorithm that some of these big property management companies use, yes, it deals mostly and it applies mostly to this big property management company, this big high-rise properties that are being built in Connecticut and other states. It doesn't quite apply to the private landlord, but I've seen plenty of these leases, and some of these rent amounts, they just don't make sense. I mean, the rental increase and the amount that they're charging based on if you want to extend for 3 months, if you want to extend for 7 months, for 11 months, it falls under the ordinary, and that's sometimes it's easier to catch. Again, I tell all the residents, if you're facing some sort of rental increase, just bring it to my attention, and we'll try to hash it out. We'll try to go over, ask questions. I'll give you your options, and then you walk out of my office and you make your own decision. With regards to the cold weather, yes, I received multiple calls about residents not having heat, not having hot water. In other towns, in other cities and municipalities, the Fair Rent Commission they file a complaint, and then the commission steps in, or they do a housing inspection. Luckily for us, I usually reach out to the health department, and they're on top of it pretty quickly. I mean, within 24 hours, they're on top of it. I also tell residents, if it's after working hours, if it's on weekends, make sure you call the police. The police takes care pretty quickly. So the system in Norwalk works pretty rapidly. I still see a lot of landlords charging the wrong amount of late fees.
Yeah.
Even though legislation changed a few years ago, it's going to be a learning process. And as landlords reach out to me and as tenants reach out to me, I provide information. I provide what the law says, that it's acceptable to charge us legal fees. So I foresee this trend happening over the next months and all the way until, a few more years. Rental increases, again, we still see some rental increases. I encourage residents to negotiate on their behalf because they know their landlord better than I do. Sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't work, then I encourage them to file a complaint through my office. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. And we, as always, appreciate your efforts. That was, I think, a really helpful summary and a good reminder of all the things that our residents are facing, our citizens are facing. Okay. Review and discussion of motions on open cases, and I will turn it over to Russell Liskov. Here we go.
Good evening, everybody. Before I get started, I just want to echo a lot of what Carlos had to say. I think that the regional fair rent commissions are going to be for towns that are smaller, that just make the threshold, that don't really stack up like the big cities of Norwalk and Stamford and Bridgeport and Fairfield, where there's a lot of people. I think if you can get 4 or 5 towns that just break the threshold, they're going to try and do regional fair rent commissions like they do regional schools. If you look up by the Southbury area, if you look up by Pomperaug, if you look up through states and parts of Connecticut, they have regional schools. When you hear the cancellations of the schools, you're like, region school is canceled on this. They pull together to make it more financially efficient to be able to do things like that, and they get enough volunteers to be able to sit on boards and commissions. The towns like Norwalk are blessed with commissioners who come in and are willing to volunteer their time. Smaller towns, it can be really difficult and it can be really political sometimes to fill those seats. So that's what I see for the regional part. And as to the rest of the stuff, Carlos is plenty busy. The calls are rolling in every day, and he's fielding all the calls. So let me go to my open cases. And the first case is 1862-2541 Wolf Pit Road. This is our one really old case. We are very close to having a full resolution done. Taking a lot of work, but we're getting there. I would recommend tonight that we vote to take no action on the case, and hopefully next month I can say to you that the case is gone. It will also get rid of 2 pieces of civil litigation in the Superior Court at the same time.
I move take no action on 1862-25.
Second.
Second.
I got Lunice with the second. So Fran with the motion, Lunice with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. We'll go on to 1869-25.
The next case is 1869-25, 12 Live Oak Road. The landlord wanted to raise rent from $3,500 a month to $3,950 a month. The complaint was filed, and they had negotiations. The landlord and tenant have come to a meeting of the minds. Something really bad happened to one of the tenant's spouses, and I'll leave that off the record. But the tenant and the landlord have made peace with each other, and a withdrawal of the complaint was signed and filed. So I would recommend that we vote to close this case.
I move to close 1869-25.
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Collier Clemens, second from Commissioner Holliday. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No. All in favor. Great.
The third case I have for you is 1871-2510 Willard Road. Came in at the end of September. They wanted to raise rent from $2,318 to $2,434 a month. We have an agreement with the landlord, and we have an agreement with the tenant. It's a Section 8 tenant, so we're waiting for the Section 8 coordinator to opine on it and for the property manager to send us a new lease. I would ask you to vote to take no action this month. This case is going to be gone next month, though. I feel very comfortable telling you the case has been fully resolved. So take no action this month.
Did somebody move that? I move
No
to
one's-
take no action on 1871-25. Y'all can just jump in here at any time.
We need a
Second.
second. There we go.
Second.
Second from Peter. All right. Motion from Fran, second from Peter. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I see Commissioner Gaston. Tatiana, I don't think I heard you on that one.
Aye.
Okay, great. Any opposed? Any abstentions? No, because all of you voted already. Let's go.
Okay.
That's it for old cases. We're on to new
That's
cases.
it. Okay. We had some action this month. 1873-25, 3 Truman Court, Apartment 2. The landlord wants to raise the rent from $1,675 to $2,800 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. The tenant communicated to hold off notifying the landlord of the complaint, and she's working to try and negotiate with him. The tenant also has told us she is moving out as of 12/15. So I recommend that. It falls within your bailiwick. I recommend that we accept the case, but I'm 95% sure that next month they're going to have moved to close the case because the tenant has moved out. But as long as the tenant is there, I think we should vote to accept the case, and we'll hear it if necessary.
I move to accept case 1873-25.
Second.
Motion from Fran Collier Clemens, second from Peter Halliday. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? I do have one just quick question on this. Now that we've voted to hear it, are we still going to withhold from informing the landlord of the complaint, or do we kind of have an obligation to send it to them now?
I think we will send it to them on December 16th, which is just around the corner. So if the tenant is out, I don't think we'll have a problem. If the tenant's not out, we will send everything out and move it along in due course.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds
I'm
fair to
in
me.
constant communication with the tenant. I did talk to the tenant today. And if I don't hear back by the end of the week, I will be sending out correspondence.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, thank you.
The next case is 1874-25, 15 Fountain Street, apartment 4. The landlord wants to increase the rent from 1,500 a month to 1,700 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. The complaint was filed. It falls within your purview, so I ask you vote to accept the case.
I move to accept case 1874-25.
Again,
We have a motion from Frank Collier Clemens, the second from Lunice. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
And the last new case we have is 1875-25, 34 Bartlett Avenue, apartment 1. The landlord wants to increase the rent from 1,400 a month to 2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. Once again, the complaint was just filed the other day. We ask you to vote to accept the case. It clearly falls within the Fair Rent Commission's purview.
I move that we accept the case.
I second.
motion from Commissioner Guest, second from Commissioner Collier Clemens. All in favor?
aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. And I think that's it for the new cases, and we will go back to the agenda. I believe the next item on the agenda is old business, and if that is what I think it is, it should be the nominating committee. Okay, now I can't actually go back to the agenda. There we go. Nominating committee update, and I will turn it over to Commissioner Guest, who is the chair of the nominating committee.
Well, the nominating committee has not met yet. And so we will plan to have a meeting between now and the next meeting. And Commissioner Johnny May Weldon is not available right now and is not attending this meeting today, but we will have a meeting. Hopefully it'll be this week.
Okay. So we will table this item until our next meeting. Sounds like a plan. Thank you for the update.
Okay.
Is there any new business?
Can I just ask a question? What happened to the hearing that was scheduled for tonight?
It was postponed. That was the first case that Russell talked about, Peter. It's the one that is into detailed negotiations, and so they asked to postpone it until January.
And that was actually
okay.
both sides asked to postpone it. The landlord asked to postpone it first, and then the tenant realized they wanted to postpone too. So it was a bilateral agreement.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no new business or no other new business, then I will take a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Happy holidays.
I hope
Happy
everybody has a
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
Merry Christmas, Happy New
Happy
Year.
everyone.
Happy
Kwanzaa.
holidays, everyone.
Yep.
Happy
Hope everyone had a
holidays.
great Thanksgiving. Happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
absolutely.
Well.
Be
Happy
safe.
and healthy.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Bye.